How's it going, guys? So today I wanted to talk about the recently unveiled Sephiroth statue from Dragon Studios. This thing looks absolutely amazing. I think it's one of, if not the best sculpt of Sephiroth I've seen. Now I know there's at least one more Sephiroth statue in the works from another company by the name of Pixstars, which also looks really cool. But for me personally, the pose and the head sculpt don't really do it for me the way the Dragon Studios one does. I love the pose, and obviously the wing looks really badass. Also, the head sculpt looks fantastic too, but I don't think it's 100% quite where it needs to be yet. This statue isn't actually coming out until late next year, so they've got some time to fine-tune it. Now, if I hadn't seen the in-hand images online, I would have thought all these pics were CGI renders of the statue. But you can clearly see this thing is real, and it's absolutely enormous. Now, it's important to note that this statue comes in two versions. There's an exclusive version, which comes with the option to display with the wing that you see in all the pictures. And there's a standard version, which is just the base statue without the wing. So looking at the measurements online, the standard version is 76 centimeters high, 44 centimeters wide, and 74 centimeters deep, whereas the exclusive version is 86 by 100 by 74. So the wing definitely adds a ton of size to this statue. It's absolutely insane. Now, as far as pricing goes, this thing is definitely not cheap. The exclusive version retails for around $830 US, and the standard version is selling for $680. So if you want the wing, you'll be paying a pretty substantial amount more. But let's be honest, any high-end collector is going to end up buying the exclusive version. The wing's pretty much a quintessential part of what makes Sephiroth such an iconic villain. Now, this statue's got a relatively low edition size with only 188 statues being produced, so if you are considering ordering it, you might want to act fast because I guarantee you this thing's going to sell out. Here's a closer look at the in-hand images of his head sculpt. I think it's really good. If I have to nitpick, I think his eye stare looks a little off, almost like he's kind of cross-eyed in a way, but that could be the angle of the photo. Also, his nose to me looks a little bit too wide for Sephiroth. But it's important to remember, guys, that this statue is still a year away, and more than likely it'll end up being even better looking than these early images. Here's a good shot of him from the front. Like I said, if I hadn't seen those in-hand images, I would have thought this was a render, but it's not. This thing actually exists. So looking at it, they really spared no detail. The paint job looks fantastic. I love all the little details like the zipper on his coat and all the clips. I think the texture work looks great. Even his belt buckle is full of details. I think in this case, the premium price really reflects the quality. I am considering pre-ordering this statue. I think it would complement the Aerith and Tifa that I have on the way. Eventually, I'd like to have the entire FF7 cast in statues. This is actually the only photo I could find of him without the wing attached. Even without the wing, I still think it's the best Sephiroth sculpt I've seen, and for most people it's going to be a lot easier for them to display this way. And speaking of the wing, Dragon Studio has confirmed that in the final production piece, the wing will be cast with a super lightweight material just to prevent any balance issues from popping up. In addition to that, just for extra support, they'll also be including a clear acrylic bracket for the wing to rest on. Now, I don't know if the bracket is just an option for people who are worried about support or if it's required to display the statue. To be honest, I'm not a fan of having to use the stand just to display the wing. I'm really hoping that I can get by without using it if I do end up pre-ordering the statue. It's not a deal breaker for me. I still think this is the best Sephiroth statue I've seen, but it's definitely something you might want to consider if you're going to pre-order the statue. Here's a shot of him from the back. I think the paint job and the sculpt of the hair looks really good. I like that it looks like it's moving in the wind. Also, from this angle, his wing looks enormous, like it's bigger than he is. If you guys want to see more pictures, you can check out the product listing on the Game Harbor's website, where you could also pre-order it if you want. So overall, guys, I'm really impressed with this piece. It's nice to finally see some Final Fantasy VII statues coming out that aren't Tifa or Aerith. But what do you guys think of the statue? You think it's too big or too expensive, or maybe you prefer the Pixstars version? Let me know in the comments. Guys, if you enjoyed this video or you got some use out of it, please give the video a like and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be covering all kinds of video game statues and collectibles coming out, so if you want to stay up to date, hit the bell notification. Once again, guys, thank you for watching. Stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.